Well, if I had the budget, I would probably start this show out with the Rocky theme song, but since I don't, we'll just kind of go with it, just unplugged, if you will. Do you consider yourself an underdog? Uh, do you always feel like there's somebody else ahead of you, on top of you? Do you always feel like you're in last place? You're just don't ever have the upper hand. Well, that's what we're going to fearlessly question this week, and we're going to be doing it with Wade Harmon. And this is probably something that Wade has never ever thought to talk about, but I don't know. Everything that kind of resonates from Wade just kind of gave me this feeling of he's been this underdog, and that's kind of maybe how he views himself. And he is going to be able to tell you what it takes to overcome that. Obviously, everybody likes to root for the underdog, so it's a good story. And Wade, being a relationship marketing guy, that's his thing. He teaches you how to market your business through building relationships. And he doesn't have any formal background in marketing, and he oftentimes questions his relevancy in the industry, whether or not he should be there or not. And I think that is a very common thought almost all of us have, no matter where we are at, no matter what industry we're in, no matter what we are doing. I believe I heard someone call it imposter syndrome. We always feel as if we shouldn't be here doing whatever it is that we're doing. And it's a fascinating way to kind of go about it, considering, I guess it maybe boils down to a lack of self-awareness. And when you're not truly fully aware of your abilities and your skills and what you're good at, well, then you sometimes have that creep in. And I think almost everybody is guilty of that at some point in time. And that's what I really wanted to get after with Wade, and what you can expect in our live discussion here coming up later this week. My journey being the underdog, my thoughts of being the underdog, and how it will help you is, even if you aren't, it probably can't hurt to think that you are. And every time you feel that you're on top, that's about the time you're going to get knocked off. And if you don't look at every day being the underdog with that chip on your shoulder, maybe you're not. Maybe you just automatically have that feistiness, that kind of grit to you. But I think it wouldn't hurt to always knock yourself down a peg or two from time to time, to know that, hey, I can always do better. Hey, there's probably somebody out there that is doing it better than me, and really use that as a driving force, a motivator. But I think the most fascinating kind of storyline about the underdog and what it takes to overcome it is obviously it's easy to root for the underdog, but we don't necessarily in everyday life see our own underdog stories come play out in front of us, and that is challenging. That is something that we don't take the time to notice and look for. And when we do, maybe it's better, maybe it's not, maybe we shouldn't be aware of it. But just understanding that this is what we are trying to overcome, what we are trying to achieve, and that we probably do belong, but even though it might not necessarily feel like it all the time. And I honestly don't know where the conversation is going to go entirely, because it is kind of a strange topic. Being an underdog in kind of in life and business, and I don't want it to be confused with being down and out, being down on your luck, being a loser, being somebody that is unsuccessful. That's definitely not the angle that we're going to take. I think the angle that I want to approach it from, and I think that is most beneficial to you, is the underdog being somebody who just has had a slightly steeper hill to climb, and might not have necessarily had the clearest of paths to get to where he's going, the right connections, so on, whatever else have you. All the things that you want to, I guess, all of the excuses that you probably make for everybody else that you think is ahead of you. That's the underdog. And I think my opinion, or my definition of the underdog, is somebody that does not concern themselves with those excuses. Somebody who is truly an underdog will not care that somebody ahead of them had a head start or a more favorable situation. The conditions were better, and the underdog knows that it doesn't matter what those stakes are, they're still going to win. And the question that you have to ask yourself, are you willing to adopt that mindset? Are you willing to say to yourself, to be confident enough in yourself to say, I am going to win regardless of who or what is in front of me, behind me, or on the side of me? And maybe when you can start to do that, you will ultimately see some actual change in the way that you're going about it. Maybe start to see some of that success come your way. Part of the reason that I started this show was because I just noticed such bad attitudes, such horrific outlooks from people that I run across. Not so much of, I'm gonna, sit in my room all day, grow my hair long and let it get greasy and listening to, emo music all day long. That's not, maybe you do that, but that's not what I'm talking. It's just such a negative attitude towards, I can't learn that thing. I can't do this. Just basically, I can't. Not owning, not as Chris Brogan says, not becoming an owner in their own life, and not allowing themselves the ability or giving themselves the respect to even welcome the idea that something is possible within their life. Something that, I guess, just automatically assuming the worst, or automatically assuming that can't happen, or automatically assuming whatever it is. Anytime you automatically assume, that's when you need to watch this show, or that's when you need to really just take a step back, because that's when it gets dangerous, in my opinion. That is, I think, in a roundabout way, a kind of a hop, skip, and a jump way that I view this whole underdog conversation, and what I think you might be able to get out of it. And we're going to talk to Wade about it. I'm interested to hear what he has to say. Even just listening to Wade talk will tell you more than you probably need to know about his underdog story. Talking with I don't want to say thick kind of Southern accent, but he doesn't sound like somebody who plays the role of a marketing influencer. And that word is pretty dirty. I don't like using it. I feel like I need to take a shower after I say it sometimes, but you understand what I mean by it is that I think it's just a tribute to exactly the expertise Wade has been able to build up, and how he has managed to overcome whatever it is that he thought was holding him back. The question is, are you going to be able to do the same for yourself? And are you going to come and learn from Wade to give yourself at least a head start on your journey being an underdog? So that's all I got for you today. We will be back with Wade Thursday, September the 11th at 2 p.m. That is Eastern Standard Time. I hope to see you there, and we will catch you on the next one. Take it easy, everyone.